Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to be doing a fun video today. I recently watched Inside Out 2 and it inspired me to do a video around emotions. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to be looking at what your strongest and weakest emotion is, okay? So the images will be on the thumbnail, okay? Timestamps in the comments. Please subscribe, like and comment. Check the description if you would like to book anything. Pole 1, you are sadness. So it is going to be on the screen for you guys. Obviously I haven't got like a physical card to show you, and I'm also going to be looking down at my iPad here to just channel in, but yes, your emotion, your strongest and weakest emotion is sadness. So let's go ahead and take a look what energy comes out for you. So tell me, angels, spirit guides, around pole 1's emotion of sadness. So I honestly feel like the first thing they're saying is like your energy of sadness has a bad rep, okay? You are maybe an empath here, okay? Sadness, she feels things very deeply, and I feel like it gets a bad rep. And it's either like other people see it as a bad rep, or you sometimes see that emotion as something that really overcomes you and overtakes from you. So I feel like you could even be like an empath that is really learning boundaries when it comes to your emotion. Tell me about this emotional energy of sadness. So I feel like this strength that you have with sadness is that you are really able to see things through your intuition, okay? Because I'm hearing them say like trusting your intuition through this sadness is a strength for you, okay? It is a strength, and you have win or lose. Again, it's this energy of like you never really know what that emotion is going to bring you towards, okay? You never know if it's going to bring out the worst in you, it's going to bring out a strength in you, but I feel like it is a strength here. What is the strength of sadness? And what is the weakness of pole 1 and sadness? Okay, yes. I do just want to pull one of these cards really quickly as your empowerment, and then we can move on to tarot. Okay, so pole 1, I feel like your strength emotion, okay, of sadness is that it can really bring a lot of clarity to you when you need it, okay? Even though it's something where you sometimes feel it really takes from you, especially like obviously emotionally for one, but for some of you physically as well, it can really like keep your body in knots is what I'm hearing. Maybe through your sacral as well. You also have solar here as well, but I feel as though like it is something that you can see clearly with, because when you cry, your tears, they clear energy, right? It's like, you know, when you feel like you need to cry and then you have this big emotional breakdown, but then a few days later maybe it's like, okay, I actually feel a lot clearer. And some of you get very frustrated with this emotion of sadness, but I feel like it's something that you should protect. Now, I feel like the energy of sadness here, as I'm looking down at her, she honestly reminds me of your inner child. And I feel like your emotion or your strength of sadness is your inner child. It is your strength of your inner child, okay? And again, you are really connected to the water element, meaning a strength for you is about flowing. It is about how you mirror this inner child, how you mirror energy. You are very good at seeing. Some of you are psychic, or you could even tap into your clairvoyance this way. You feel things through other people, not just yourself, but for others. And whether you want to tap into this and use it as a psychic, or you want to do this to maybe form friendships with people, to even help heal others, that doesn't mean that you need to be a healer, but it's something that you have the power to do. And I feel like when you tap into this energy and you stop even blocking your own emotions, you get to the cause of what is hurting you, or the cause of what is bringing out that sadness. You are able to mirror that energy and you're able to clear it. Okay, and it comes with great courage. This reminds me, I always forget his name when this card comes out from this deck, honestly. It starts with an A, can't think of it, but that person, right, that pulls the sword out of the ground, that takes a lot of courage. Not everyone could have done that, pulled out this sword from the ground. And I feel as though you have this power because you are able to truly feel. There are some people like dark empaths, for example. Now, I'm talking more on a psychological level. I do believe that there can be dark empaths spiritually that don't get the bad rep, but typically dark empaths, they can manipulate others, right? Or they can like manipulate other people's emotions. You have this gift for a reason, because you aren't going to manipulate others. And sometimes actually other people even try to hurt you with this energy, with feeling so deeply, because they know that maybe you're sensitive, or they know that you kind of understand. Like even when it comes to friendships, like I am seeing abuse as well, trigger warning, but not just like in a physical sense. I mean, for some of you, yes, but I feel like even in friendships as well, is what I'm hearing, like people take advantage of you in situations because you are so kind-hearted, because you feel very deeply. But this is a strength that you have. And I feel like if you actually spent some time just learning to master that energy of emotion, okay? Learning to feel, you know what I'm seeing? Someone touch a tree as well. You are connected to tree spirits, or you're connected to like earthly spirits, even through the water, right? What is that? Moana, right? Maybe you need to go and watch that to go and get some spiritual message. But the way that she could literally feel the ocean is how you feel emotion. And you should see it that way as well, the same way Moana sees it, right? You should learn to connect with things. And there is a word, I can't remember which Claire it is, right? Leave it down below. Claire cognizance, maybe, even clairsentient, but I feel like you can feel things by picking up objects through the earth, though, is what I feel. Like, yes, you can do it through like a tarot card maybe, but I feel as though like you actually, like when you touch the earth, the water, okay, all the elements, the air, literally touching smoke and wind, you should master all those elements, okay? Because you are very powerful when you are in balance with this. Now, I feel like your weakness here is about feeling alone, because you don't always because you are always surrounded by people who don't always understand this energy. They don't understand what being an empath is, maybe connected to spirituality as well, because they don't see things the way that you see them, or even feel things the way that you feel them. It can feel very lonely. And I think that sometimes you get the best of the situation and the emotion. You need to learn to transmute like energy, again, spiritual boundaries as an empath, learning to just, you know, like stop feeling so deeply. Like you need to learn like when to switch it on and off. I feel like would be really helpful for you. But I feel as though like it can really take a toll on you. And like I said, physically as well, it feels like you end up in knots, or I'm seeing someone that needs to go and lie down because they have a headache. Like when the energy affects you, it affects you deeply. So like you need to lie down, you feel sleepy, but like also like mentally that can be very challenging to feel things. And it reminds me of a TikTok I saw a while ago, right, where it's like this girl said like when you're a psychic or when you're an empath and you go to the club and you can just see what everyone is running from, that is kind of like the energy that you carry. But you need to learn to not carry that. Okay, again, you need to learn to like, yes, I'm going to feel things, or I see what you are feeling, I feel what you are feeling, but learn to transmute it then and there, so you're not carrying it for the rest of your day. Some of you may even struggle with fatigue here because of it. where you actually feel shitty, sloppy. And what is going to actually help you on a physical sense is making sure that you're eating light and fresh foods. But I also feel like swimming in water, or again being in nature, literally transmuting it through the earth. Now, another thing I feel like this sadness comes in is that this energy of belief, right? Especially through your solar, this energy of like always feeling like it gets the better of you, and it really like discourages your energy. And even if we think of Inside Out, right, sadness, she always felt as if like she was a burden, or she felt like she screwed things up, because she could only like be a certain way, right? She could only turn things to sadness, to emotion. And I think that sometimes like you even bring out very strong emotions when it comes to other people here, okay? And I feel like your energy here is about like you learning to see as a strength. Again, you need to go and practice your gift, honey, as an empath. You need to. And you don't have to be a psychic, you don't have to be all this other Claire stuff, right? Whatever label you want to put on it, a healer, light worker. You don't have to be that if you don't want to. But I think on a personal level, even just to help navigate your own emotions, it would be helpful to learn how you're feeling, where things come from, or what emotions cause what, and how it affects the chakra system as well, okay? Especially like if it causes you fear, or it limits you from being who you truly are. And it's giving me, now you also pulled like the wolf moon, right? It's giving me like when a wolf can't control its howl underneath the moon, it has to turn underneath a full moon. That is what I see, like this lack of control that you have here. So I feel as though when it comes to sadness, you need to learn to embrace your energy here. Give me this strength. You need to really embrace your powers here. You need to embrace who you truly are. Now, again, I feel like the energy of childhood, memories, things that caused you sadness should be a reflection that you look upon, okay? Because there is something here around you even shutting out a lot of your own emotions. And I feel like a lot of the times, if you are an empath and things are getting the best over you, especially when it comes to other people, there is still something unhealed within you, okay? Because when you're emotionally balanced, even if you are constantly feeling and crying for everyone else, it shouldn't take away from you. And by looking at your energy, this tells me that something still takes away from you. It causes you distraction here. It causes you to not be able to see or to think very clearly, especially when it comes to relationships. You have a hard time navigating relationships because on one hand you feel very alone, but on the other hand you find it very hard to connect because you always take on the emotional burdens of others. So I feel like this is about you finding some empowerment within you, okay? You have the Star card as well. This is about you learning to master your own energy. I'm telling you, when you learn to not only master being an empath, right, but being in control of your energy, your emotions, knowing the healing work that you've done around your traumas, it is going to help you connect better. And I'm seeing like someone who like is rolling their eyes at having to ground, and honestly I used to feel like that. But the second that I started to take the time to actually go and ground, to actually go and connect with the earth, because when we are spiritual, the earth is so fucking important for us. Just having that home base and connecting with ourselves, even just connecting with our personal lives, having that bit of separation from things helps so much, to the point it became a necessity in my life. Like, I won't start any type of spiritual work if I feel ungrounded or if I know I'm just like not in the right place. And you need to have this when it comes to relationships, having that space to be able to connect with your emotions. And I think a part of your inner child did not get to really speak about what was hurting you. You did not get to navigate the feeling of carrying that pain of everyone else, but mostly the pain of your inner child. And I think the moment that you are able to release that, you call yourself home, you allow yourself to grow. And the moon here, even the solar plexus energy, like it brings you back into your empowerment. It brings the fire back within you, and then you are able to like dictate, okay, look, you've hurt me this way and I can now tell you how I'm feeling. Whereas you keep it all in, you keep it a part of you, and you carry not only your emotions but others. And I think the moment that you even start to have that clarity or that kind of separation, that kind of boundary, you're able to put boundaries with other people as well. You're able to say what you want to say clearer. But you need to have that kind of like spiritual talk with yourself. You need to have that one-to-one counseling, or some of you, maybe you need a counselor. You need a safe space to connect with yourself, right? Even if it's once a week, however many times you need it, right? Go and get a reading. Go and use your spiritual tools here. Have that safe place of connectivity, because that is really going to help you. I love and appreciate you, Pearl 1. I hope that was helpful. Okay, Pearl 2, you are joy. I'm going to leave it on the screen. Obviously, I don't have a physical card to show you. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm staring at my iPad to channel the image, right? But we're going to get into your energy here around your strength and weakness, around the emotion of joy. So look, the first thing that I'm hearing is you are working overtime. Where is your energy at? Your energy is everywhere, here, there, everywhere. You are someone that does not know how to chill, or you are someone that maybe even finds joy around like helping people. You are definitely an empowerment to other people, okay? People need you. People need you. And you are happy to be of service in some type of way. I do feel like you have boundaries, but I do feel there is something around you needing to illuminate within yourself. And when I think of joy here, right, she is always a joy to others, right? She's here to help Riley in a sense, to create happy memories for other people. Now, whether that is within work or within relationships, you are always a light for others, but are you a light for yourself? And I picked this image of joy, honestly, because it just spoke to me. It was like completely the opposite of her energy. Her energy is always smiley, but in this energy, she's just like flabbergasted, right? She's drained. And I think like I'm hearing your guides come in and say, and just like the angels say, it's almost as if like you are looking into this mirror and you're seeing truth for the first time. You're seeing truth for the first time. So let me get some cards here. Okay, what is the strength of joy, the emotion for pole 2? And what is the weakness of the emotion of joy? Okay, I'm just going to get a card of empowerment really quickly. Let's just pull some tarot for you very quick. Just so this video is not too long. Okay. So, I feel as though when it comes to your weakness, you are needing to learn to make some time for yourself, okay? I felt this, especially with the energy of joy. She's like the number one emotion, right? She's like always there for Riley. It gives me like Andy is for Woody, right? It's like the #1 toy. You are a true leader, and there is something about your work or your presence that is needed. For some of you, I sense you could even be like a mother or a parent here, a father. You could be someone with a responsibility for children around work, but you are called to lead up in some way. Like you are someone that people need, right? Again, whether it's around your family need you, or there is like some sort of responsibility that you have here. So if this doesn't make sense for you, this may not be your energy. But I feel as though you are someone that is very independent, and I feel like your strength is being able to like be in more than one energy. Like you are able to do a lot. Like you are someone that is working constantly. Like I'm seeing someone with multiple tabs open. You can multitask, right? That is a strength for you. You have like such a fierce energy, and if you're a feminine, I do sense this energy of like your father or like a masculine presence here, where it's like, you know how like masculines, right, on a typical basis, they are people who lead, or they're supposed to lead, they're supposed to be this strength, compared to a feminine, she's supposed to be soft, girly, right? You are able to be in this masculine energy and navigate it well. Like there is something about them saying the emotion of joy, like it navigates well. You aren't just like joy for one, you are joy for all. You are able to make even the most difficult situations a light. You could also have like a good team of people around you, or maybe you need even a team of people, right? But there's something about you understanding a different perspective. And you know what's so funny? This kind of reminds me of the other emotions, right? It's like you offer something different compared to the other emotions, and you are able to again embrace any situation. Like you can take on very significant roles. This reminds me of course like the world space, right? But you know how like in space movies there's always that control room with all like the big screen and everyone's on their computers. Like you are able to be a leader in like very serious situations. But I feel like when it comes to yourself, you have a hard time with growth. Now these did come out in reverse, okay? There is something here around you always being consumed. And what is a weakness to this joy is literally not being able to be anything else other than who you are. Like you don't experience for yourself, you don't put yourself in new situations because you are so used to being a leader in one way. That is all you are. Does that make sense? It's like if everything is navigated, like you could be even a person who likes systems, orders, this day on this day, like post-it notes, right? I used to have a manager who used to love post-it notes, like post-it notes on everything. You are someone like that. And I feel like sometimes your energy to be sort of closed off or like one way when it comes to work, even though your work style seems a bit scattered here, okay? There is something here around you just not like truly finding a happiness. You do things because they make sense, not because they make you happy. And you may even find it hard to like dictate personal life to routine. And I feel as though like if you have a partnership as well, this could affect a partnership. For others, like this could even affect future connections, right? Because you're a bit like hard on yourself. You're very like, I have to do it this way. And so is Joy in a sense, right? If you've watched Inside Out too. So I feel like the energy here, your empowerment is about needing to be open, okay? The only way that you're going to navigate the emotion of joy is about being open and learning to be a bit selfish for yourself. Because again, I feel like a lot of people need you. Or what is like even a weakness here, I feel like, is like this energy of needing to be there for others, or always having to make sure this person's okay. Like your day is very affected by how much you do, or the opinions of other people. You keep yourself very limited because of your position. And it's funny because you should be the most open, you should be the most like confident, you should be the person that is always glowing, right? But I feel like sometimes you put yourself on this pedestal of like failure, okay, failure and success. And it's like if everyone else is happy, that is success. But it's like if someone is not happy or there is a problem, that is a fucking day of failure. And I feel like your emotions could even come from personal experiences, maybe around a father energy as well, relationships that really didn't honor you at your best. Like you are someone, like people appreciate your energy when they're around you, or they like the energy that you bring, but they don't appreciate you. They don't like tell you, oh hey, like you're doing too much, thank you for this. There's just something around like you being in this fight or flight mode. And I think it's time to get out of it because it's causing you a lot of internal struggle. If you always have to live your life carrying the burden, carrying the worry of my job, the worry of people, when do you ever get to be happy? And I feel like you have maybe even lost a bit of your confidence. Now, here's the thing. I think that you are very confident, especially Joy. I see her as very confident, like very luminous. But I think behind the scenes, you don't express how you're really feeling in terms of failure, in terms of like achievement. Like you are always like, doesn't matter how I feel, doesn't matter if I'm ill, if I am having a bad day, like I have to get up. People are dependent on me. I can't let them down. You are constantly this extrovert for other people, but behind the scenes, you're struggling. And again, it's like, I don't feel like you're not confident. I feel like you are because you are a leader. But I feel like when it comes to like true connectivity of self, you're not connected to yourself. It almost just feels like it's all a facade. It's like you wake up and you put on a mask. I don't know if you've seen that cartoon, right? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, or maybe is it a cartoon or is it just like a movie, I don't know. But it's like where like the woman, like she cleans the house, she gets up as soon as her alarm goes off, she gets up, she brushes her teeth, she cleans up, she gets ready, and then she cleans up all day, she does everything all day. Like she drops the kids off, takes care of everything, and then as soon as her husband comes home, he's like, oh, did you have a chance to drop this off? And she's like, no, I didn't. I guess I'll make more time tomorrow. Like that is the energy. It's like you're constantly on the go. So you are being challenged to really start being committed to yourself, right? The energy of Dory, expansion, doing something new, doing something that lights you up. And you know what? I forgot we have the 10 of Pentacles here. Family time. Okay? Or spending time just enjoying your success. Maybe you make a lot of money here. Okay, and you don't spend it or you don't experience it. But there is something around the energy of Dory, like Dory and like Nemo, right? And what's the other one, Marlin or something like that? Just like the way Nemo had to go off in the ocean, but then it's like that was one adventure, but another adventure was like Dory and Marlin, like having to figure things out. You need to go off on a new journey here. Okay, you need to go and find self. I love and appreciate you. I hope that was helpful. Okay, pole 3, you are ennui. Let's go ahead and take a look at your emotions. So if I am looking down, I am looking at the screen to channel the image. So ennui, boredom, right? Boredom. I also see him as sarcasm a little bit, right? And I actually channel a bit of yours energy here, right? I feel like there is something around inspiration for you. Being inspired by something new. I feel as though some of you are light workers or you are star seeds, okay? Yeah, you are star seeds. And I feel as though your energy around Earth here, it's like stuck on Earth or stuck in an environment that doesn't serve me. That is the energy I get. So let me see. What is this weakness? What is your emotional strength of ennui for pole 3? What is your emotional strength of ennui? You just get your empowerment. We'll just pick all 3. You did get 3 out, but we'll just pick all 3, right? Okay, let me just quickly get some tarot for you, then we can channel straight in. Ennui, strength, weakness, okay. So I feel as though, right, you are looking for some type of inspiration and you feel a bit like disconnected from earth, okay? I feel like your emotional weakness when it comes to like boredom, or when it comes to just where you are in this like cool and reserved energy, is suppressing your emotions and not really honoring how you truly feel beneath the surface. I feel like you are someone that maybe struggles with mental health, depression, or you constantly find yourself like motivated then demotivated, but it's almost as if like you are in this helpless and hopeless energy. You are constantly staying hopeful for the future, but it's like the journey of doing things, again, the boredom, maybe even a sense of laziness here. You just like have no energetic motivation, and I think that comes from not honoring your emotions or not getting to the root cause of why you feel bored or why you feel so hopeless. And I feel like you are actually being called to be encouraged by energy, okay? Like to move that energy out, to transmute it. You're encouraged to connect with others and not stay so alone, so hopeless, right? You're encouraged to really focus on life and experience rather than outcome. And I feel like you are about to start changing and shifting your life. Now, I feel like your emotional strength here is really being able to have this creative outlook. Like even though you feel unmotivated sometimes, or you're not always there with it, or you can't be bothered, whatever it is, right, you still have a creative mind. And when you put your energy towards something, you can literally create universes. You can create this magical space. And I feel like your strength is about really tapping into the energy of connectivity, especially through the crown energy. Like your crown illuminates. And I feel like you are a starseed, like trapped in this human body, wanting to just go back to your homely planet, okay, or wanting to just have life work out for you, but I feel like it hasn't, or sometimes it feels like it doesn't, and I feel like that takes away from you. But I feel like the energy here is about you truly connecting with your energy now, like being in the present moment. You need to stop focusing on the outcome or the ending or how I'm going to be successful, how my dreams going to come true. And you need to live in the moment, because it does not work for you to constantly be so far away. And I feel like you need to be doing some kind of grounding work, especially with the crown. I always notice with the crown, you have to be somewhat grounded, because if you're not, you can live up here far too long. And when you do, that is when you start to create obstacles that don't exist. You start to even feel like spiritual psychosis for some people as well. You just feel so disconnected from self. So I feel like a part of your strength is about making decisions that benefit you. You hold in a lot of the pain that you feel because somewhere in your life you did not get that outlet to express yourself, or I'm seeing like you are someone who had to figure things out alone. You were neglected. You had to figure things out alone because you were neglected. Emotionally, spiritually, for some of you, you are very different in a pair of people. But I feel like actually what is a strength is you almost like, I'm seeing stardust, right? creating this magical space around yourself. I'm actually seeing like spiritual circles, or I'm seeing like even the fae a little bit, honestly. I'm seeing just like a circle of protection, circle of magic around you, just creating when you want to create. And I think that you have to get out of this energy of like having to be something, or feeling like you are not enough, having to make a decision. What if I just feel like I'm chill today? What if that is all I want to be, right? And I think that you need to learn to see yourself in a new way. As soon as you even start to connect with who you are truly, know like, I'm trying to embody this person, I'm trying to fake it till I make it. Truly just going and understanding, okay, I'm someone that clearly does not work in a 9 to 5 routine, so I'm not going to put myself in a 9 to 5 routine. My dreams, or my kind of like spiritual business, for some of you, I sense like entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you want to do. What works for me is just working like twice a week. Okay, just creating in the moment. I'm seeing like the way painters, right? They just like create when they want to create. They finish the art when they want to finish it. Sometimes they're working on one piece, the next week they could be inspired to work on 5. But that is like what works for you. Okay, and I feel like this energy of battle, or constantly having to rush even through life, needs to stop. You need to get out of your head of living for other people. You live for other people because you have this measure of success. Okay, if I don't achieve by this time, or I don't complete this by this time, I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough, or I need to hurry up and figure my life out. As soon as you stop that energy and you just show up for yourself and who you are, just create in the moment, you are going to feel a lot more connected, because you're not going to always feel like, I have to do this for other people. Self-concept is going to work great for you when it comes to who you want to embody, but I do feel like you need to do something first where it's like, I understand like my personal power, literally the magician. You need to understand your personal power. Okay, bats in the belfry, you can achieve great things. Understanding like what works for you, what doesn't, your power. And I always say this with the magician, likes and dislikes. Go and figure out what you like and dislike. If being in this like routine, or being in this constant survival mode is not working, then is it time to stop surviving? Because oftentimes we see the pattern that we are stuck in, but then we continue to create in it, when actually the only way to undo things is to call back our power and our energy. So you have this energy of choosing here, choosing who you want to become. You don't have to be this person if you don't want to. You can easily be who you want to be. And I feel like for you, it's just being real with yourself. I see on, what's his name? Ennui? I can't remember what his name is or how to pronounce it. That's crazy. But his energy is literally chill as fuck, like doing his own thing. It may be seen as boredom, but is it boredom? Or is it just you being like so at peace with yourself, right? Find solutions. Again, the energy of Nemo keeps coming up through my piles, right? But the energy of like finding the light within, facing your fears, allowing yourself to release what doesn't work. I love and appreciate you. I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Okay, pole 4, you are anxiety. I'll leave it on the screen. I am going to be sometimes looking down on my iPad to channel the image. But honestly, I need a nap, pole 4. I need a nap and a glass of water. I feel like I've spoken a lot today. But for some of you, this like energy of anxiety, right, being your emotion, being scattered all over the place, whew, we need to get into this energy, right? I feel like you're someone who's always on the go. Okay, I don't know why, but like anxiety, I'm getting like Red Bull, like 5th Red Bull of the day. Someone who drinks coffee a lot, someone who is just constantly like, their nervous system is constantly in spikes. And you know, like when like astronauts, or like, I don't even know, like astrologers even, right, they are constantly looking at like what the energy of the planets are and what is spiking. Like I'm seeing a screen where it's like you are constantly in spikes, right? Like your radioactive energy is just non-stop. And I feel like when it comes to anxiety in the movie, right, in Inside Out 2, he was just constantly trying to run from what was hurting him, right? What was like the clear problem and what could have been a clear solution. He was constantly causing more trouble for himself. So honestly, I feel like you're in some kind of scarcity, survival mode. You are constantly on some kind of buzz, and I feel like the fears that you create, right, within yourself makes you never really address what is hurting you in the first place. Let me just channel some of these cards out. So what is the strength for pole 4 in the emotion of anxiety? I'm seeing someone with like stomach pain as well. I don't know if you like you feel your, I mean, of course we feel anxiety in our womb, but you really feel it, or there is something around your stomach, IBS maybe, something. Let's take this one. And what is the weakness of this emotion of anxiety? I'm actually going to use a different deck of empowerment here for your pile. I don't feel like taking these, honestly. I'm just going to be real with you, okay, as a tarot reader. I don't like these cards and I don't feel like taking them, so we're not going to take them. I know some people are a bit weird about that, but I'm just going to keep it 100. I don't feel like taking it, so I'm not going to take it. Okay. That feels a lot more centered. So yeah, I feel like there is something, like I'm even hearing like sugar rush here, okay? There is something about you just like, I don't know if you have like some sort of addiction here, okay? Take whatever resonates for you. Strength. So I feel like your strength, okay? 2 cards just fell on the floor. So I feel like your strength, okay, is actually like other people keeping you grounded as well, okay? Especially when you have like such anxiety or you're constantly like all over the place. I don't know if you're someone that parties a lot. It's funny because like within my collective of people, let's take one more. In my collective of people though, or like my collective audience, especially on YouTube, I feel like we're not really like super like partiers. Like I don't know, I channel a more like serious and like chill approach from my subscribers on YouTube. I feel like we're just like very centered in healing or just like finding some empowerment within ourselves. But I don't know, this power I'm getting like you're like, you either like party a bunch, right, and you're just on the go, like you experience life in however you want to, which is empowering. But I also just feel like if it's not partying, it's just like you're constantly like doing something, working or whatever, right? So look, I feel like your strength here is being able to express your own needs, especially with anxiety here, right? Now in the movie Anxiety, like whenever like there was a problem, he would happily offer a solution. Was it the right solution? No, it tended to be like a false persona, but it honestly made sense in some type of way, right? It made sense when he said it, but it was obviously created from wounds of oppression. So I feel like you're not scared to like say what you want, or you're very open with like just trying to overcome a problem. But I think you overcome problems, or you constantly put yourself on this like run to life, right, race of life, by not actually addressing what hurts, and I feel like you have even an avoidance wound here a little bit as well. Now I feel like there could be something around father, okay? Father wounds or abandonment, or for some of you it's abandonment, others it's actually a passed over loved one is what is actually coming through now. Someone that like you missed out life with, whether it's that you cherished this father figure in your life or you wanted to cherish them but you couldn't. There is something about that, okay? For some of you it's like opposite of whatever makes sense. But I feel as though like you needed some kind of security in your life, especially with the way he's got his hands around shoulders. You were not centered, okay? Again, for some of you it's that your life turned upside down growing up here. Something hindered your growth, whether it was the action of a parent here not being around for you, or it was that like unexpected circumstance, someone that you really loved passed away and it caused you to have to be alone. Some of you, it was like a single father household where your father took care of you, right? It's just like you've never been centered. Even if like he abandoned you, you've never felt that security and that center, but you've always been like installed with some sort of confidence or some kind of honesty. So I don't know if you grew up with parents who were like really fucking raw and honest, okay? Or even like just like there was someone in your life that mirrored an energy of like perseverance and like going for what you want. For some of you I see like you had support around you, especially with this like green heart chakra energy. Like you were supported, but then like something happened, again something tragic where you felt loss, or you had to like live alone or whatever else. You lost some of that love. Or for others of you, like you never really experienced that love, but it was driven into you that you must succeed. Like I'm even getting like sports dads, right? Dads who like make it a thing to like learn, or like you have to be the captain of this basketball team, okay? Some of you could even be drawn, like you are masculine here, right? And you're drawn to this energy, but there is something here around like not really getting that center that you needed. So I feel like a strength for you is that you're very good at being very optimistic and you persevere very forwards. You can speak your mind, or you're very open about your needs, right? You are someone who can be very extroverted. Like you could even be like a silly child, right? If you didn't get to be a silly child growing up, you make it a point to be a silly child now. I feel like you are very good at expressing yourself, but I feel like the weakness here is like making these opportunities and taking these risks in life at a cost. It's at a cost of your happiness. It is a cost of your peace here. Again, yes, the decision makes you forward in this film, right? Anxiety, he made decisions for Riley that put her out there, right? That made her new friends, but they weren't really a true representation of herself. She couldn't be herself around these friends because she thought that she had to be someone that she wasn't. And I feel like it's again like someone who is very successful or puts themselves out there, but behind the scenes, that pressure on the shoulders, right? That pressure to achieve because you think that you have to achieve for someone that is passed over, or you have to make it a point to achieve because of the lack of love that you've received. It's something, it's this pressure of success. And in Inside Out 2, Riley, she ended up like seizing from like this pressure that she put on herself. She ended up having an anxiety attack, and she couldn't really get herself together until she really made that switch within herself. So I feel like it is a weakness here where you are not authentic to yourself. Everything that you do is based off anxiety, it's based off other people. It's a measure of success to your greatness. It is for other people. You are constantly running from your true self. You're not allowing yourself to be at peace. And even like the eyes, they remind me of eagle's eyes, right? Shamans as well. This energy of like always needing to be in control, always needing to be like so divergent and just so robotic, right? Where is your love? And yes, again, it's like you're successful, you grow here, but at what cost? Right? Your personal power is still limited. Just because you have the opinions, again, you have the success. It's kind of like when people like manifest love into their life or an ex back. Yes, they've got their ex back, but at what cost? Right? It's not a true version of themselves. If you're never really centered within yourself, if you never really know yourself, if you can never really be at peace when you're by yourself, then who are you? Right? You deserve to be at peace everywhere. So there is some level of guilt here, or there is something that is really awakening within you where you are really learning to open up this emotion. Okay, now I feel like, again, it's very important that you get out of this materialistic mindset, or this mindset that you need to constantly be achieving, you need to be at the top of the ladder, you need to constantly be on the go. I think what is going to help you now moving forward as a strength is truly allowing yourself to feel lit up when you feel lit up. Feeling that inspiration when you feel it. And if you don't, you don't. There is something about overworking, or overworking for other people. Always putting yourself on this pedestal of success, focusing on materialisms, is making you a horrible person. And the same happened to Riley. She was a horrible person to her true friends. She was never a true measure of herself. And I feel like when you actually just take some time to forgive yourself, to even find some acceptance for the things that you've been through, you're actually going to find that your kind of flame is lighting a lot longer than it does when you are not yourself, right? You get burnt out very quickly, but it's like you don't even have that balance, right? You don't always need to be working here as well with the lovers. You don't always need to be there for other people as well. Like for some of you, you are constantly using materialisms to impress other people, or you feel like you have to constantly like give to relationships. Okay, you have to take away from yourself. That is not the case. You are actually going to make long-lasting relationships that are true and authentic when you trust yourself. Okay, when you stop putting this energy of work in front of relationships. There's even something here around being surrounded by friendships that aren't even true friendships, or being in connections that aren't even true connections. They're connections because you have wealth, or they're connections because you feel connected to those people, right? It's like for some material thing. It's so that they can see you in a way. And this gives me like influencer vibe. I don't know if you're an influencer, but it's like influencers that only want to be around successful people when they're popping and they're viral, but they don't want to be around you when you're doing nothing, or when you just want to be yourself. And I feel like you need to learn to be yourself. Some of you are taking yourself out of relationships and friendships that don't serve you. Okay, do I have to always be the one that's paying in this relationship? Some of you go out to dinner with friends or with connections, and you always end up paying, or you constantly have to even be working to be a part of their group. You have to always be something for others. But there is something about either this past loved one that is coming through, or even like there is someone, like whoever this person mirrors, father energy. There is something coming through here around like truly learning to be yourself. Like the love that you received around this person is who you should be around everyone. You should not have to change yourself for other people. You should not have to fit into other expectations for other people. You should not have to replace what someone else took away from you. Does that make sense? You don't have to always be the one to give, right? To replace the loss that you feel within. That is something that you have to be dealing with within, okay? So your empowerment here, honestly, we do have more cards here as well. A powerful energy shifts, collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies. There is going to be a shift here, okay? Where you are going to have a rethink of your life, and the way that you're living. I'm telling you, if you've been around material people, or like people who just aren't even your real friends, like I'm seeing someone sit at lunch at work or sit around people like where they're all laughing, they're getting along, and you don't even get the joke. You don't even understand like what the big deal is. Like, why do I have to wear designer clothes? Why do I have to be like this? Okay, you could even be around people who want to go out clubbing. They want to be around like other people, other successful people. They want to be chasing love, right? We all know those friends, right, that do anything for a little bit of, yeah, this is what it's giving. That is going to end. You're going to have a rethink of your life. When it comes to work, the decisions that you're making, you're going to realize it. And it may come crashing down, but it's going to be a powerful shift. It's really going to align you with true love and true energy. Because you see, there was a lack of love in your life. You were constantly chasing this money, this opportunity to grow. You are running from the loss that you felt growing up, whether it was a loss of a past loved one, or it was a loss of a parent here in terms of abandonment. Something here was lost from your inner child, and you have spent your whole fucking life running from that. You have spent your whole life replacing things through materialism or trying to achieve to be successful, when the only thing that you needed to do was heal. And that is going to come crumbling down. That is going to be a realization and honestly a shock. I see some of you even having like an anxiety attack when that happens. Okay, there is going to be like floods of tears. Someone that doesn't allow themselves to cry, it is going to come out. Trust me, it's a damn waiting to happen. But it is going to push you towards the right people and the right opportunities. You think that you are going to lose something by letting go of this lifestyle that you have created out of fear, out of anxiety, but it's actually, you are going to realize that the quality of life, right? The quality of life. It's giving me even like someone's going to move location here. Like, especially if you're from the UK or you live in the UK, it can be fucking depressing around here. And it's giving like going on a little staycation, vacation, solo trip, okay? Or with people who even care about you. Some of you have lost like true authentic friends in the past. I'm seeing like a best friend or a group of friends as well that are going to come back in contact with you. And I think that you lost contact with this person because of like old beef, and like you were changing, they were changing, but like you've always missed those people or that person. And some of you have always known like they were supposed to be in my life forever. You can feel it, but like you're sad that they weren't. They're going to come back in, and there is going to be healing around a situation like that, okay? But something is going to change here. I love and appreciate you. I hope that was helpful.